the spark of defiance in the year 2147. Earth was a scarred world, its continents etched with the remnants of wars long past. Humanity had clawed its way back from the brink of self-destruction, uniting under the banner of the Terran Alliance after the Cataclysma, a global conflict that had nearly extinguished civilization. Resources were scarce, populations huddled in megacities, and the stars above were no longer dreams but necessities. Faster-than-light travel had been cracked decades earlier, but the Alliance's fleet was meager. Outdated scouts, repurposed freighters, and a handful of cruisers that could barely fend off pirate raids from the outer colonies. The galaxy, however, was not empty. The Galactic Concord, a sprawling empire of over 1,000 species, dominated the stars. Ruled by the ancient Voroth, a race of crystalline beings who valued order above all. The Concord enforced peace through overwhelming force, their armadas numbered in the millions, their technology woven from the fabric of quantum realities. To them, humanity was a curiosity at best, a pest at worst. When human explorers first made contact in 2120, the Concord dismissed them as primitives, offering a condescending protectorate status, pay tribute, surrender sovereignty, and perhaps one day earn a seat at the lesser councils. Earth refused. The Alliance's leaders, hardened by centuries of human strife, saw the offer for what it was: slavery in velvet chains. Diplomatic envoys were sent, treaties proposed, but the Voroth laughed through their harmonic resonances. "You are but sparks in the void," their ambassador intoned during the final summit on Luna Base. "Mit, or be extinguished." The ultimatum came swiftly: dismantle all FTL drives, confine humanity to the Sol system, and deliver annual tithes of rare minerals. Non-compliance would invite pacification, a euphemism for orbital bombardment and invasion. The Concord's fleets mobilized, vanguard of 100 warships crossing the neutral zones towards Sol. In the bowels of the Alliance's hidden shipyards on Titan, Project Aegis reached fruition. It wasn't a fleet. Humanity couldn't afford that. It was a single vessel, the TFS Vanguard. Born from the genius of Dr. Elena Vasquez, physicist who had fused human ingenuity with scavenged alien tech, the Vanguard was no ordinary warship. At 2 kilometers long, it bristled with experimental weapons, gravitic lances that could crumple hulls like paper, quantum shields that phased through enemy fire, and an AI core named Orion, self-evolving, adaptive, and fiercely loyal to humanity. "She's our David against Goliath," Admiral Marcus Hale declared in the launch ceremony, his voice echoing in the vacuum-sealed hangar. Hale, a grizzled veteran with scars from the Cataclysm, had poured his soul into the project. One ship to show the galaxy what humans are made of. As the Vanguard slipped from Titan's shadow, engines humming with suppressed power, the crew of 500 engineers, soldiers, scientists braced for the unknown. Captain Kira Novak, a sharp-eyed tactician from the Eurasian enclaves, stood on the bridge. "All systems green," Orion's voice purred, a synthetic baritone laced with human sarcasm. "Let's go poke the hornet's nest." The Concord's Vanguard detected the launch immediately. Grand Admiral Zarak, a Voroth elder whose crystal form pulsed with disdain, broadcast a final warning: "Primitive vessel, stand down. Your defiance is noted and will be your end." Novak smiled thinly. "Orion, plot, intercept course." Weapons hot, the Vanguard accelerated, a lone arrow against the storm, as they closed on the enemy fleet. The first skirmish unfolded in the Oort cloud's fringes. Concord destroyers, sleek and iridescent, unleashed plasma volleys that could vaporize asteroids. The Vanguard's shields shimmered, absorbing the energy and redirecting it into its own capacitors. "Counterfire," Novak ordered. Gravitic lances, Ford-Salent, invisible beams that warped space-time. The lead destroyer crumpled, its hull folding inward like a crushed can, crew compartments venting atmosphere. Alarms blared across the Concord ships. "Anomaly detected," Zyrak subordinates reported. "Human vessel exhibits unknown capabilities." 2 more destroyers fell before the fleet adapted, forming a phalanx with overlapping shields. Missiles swarmed toward the Vanguard, but Orion danced the ship through the barrage. Its predictive algorithms turning evasion into art. They're learning, Orion noted. But so am I. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Raj Patel monitored the power core Singularity harnessed in a magnetic bottle. Pushing limits, Captain? We can sustain this for hours, but if we overload, it won't, Novak replied. Hit them where it hurts. The Vanguard pierced the formation, its point defense lasers carving through fighter swarms. A capital ship Lameda behemoth twice the Vanguard's size. Novak targeted its command nexus. The gravitic lance struck true, shattering the Vorith bridge. Zyrak's form fragmented in a cascade of light. His final thought, a ripple of shock. How? The remnants fled, broadcasting distress calls. The galaxy's mightiest empire had been bloodied by a single human ship. But this was just the beginning. Word spread through the Concord's networks. Earth had launched a warship, and the stars trembled. Back on Earth, celebrations were muted. Hale addressed the Alliance. We've bought time, but the real war is coming. The Vanguard is our spearhead. Humanity will not bow. In the void, Novak stared at the stars. Orion, set course for the Concord core worlds. Let's take the fight to them. Shadows of the Empire, the Vanguard's victory rippled across the galaxy like a shockwave. On the Concord's capital world, Elizara, crystalline paradise, orbiting a binary star, the High Council convened in panic. The Vorith elders, their forms attuned to cosmic harmonies, felt the discord keenly. A single vessel, Elder Lyra hummed, her facets glowing with indignation. How dare these upstarts challenge the order? Intelligence reports flooded in. The human ship wielded weapons that defied physics, shields that mocked energy laws. Whispers of reality warpers spread among the lesser species, the insectoid cricks. The avian thaler, the aquatic neridol, bound by Concord rule. Some secretly cheered. Others feared reprisal. The Council mobilized the Grand Armada, 10,000 ships, drawn from every sector. Command fell to Admiral Vexer, a battle-hardened Crix warlord with mandibles that clicked in anticipation. We will crush this insolence, he declared, his fleet assembling in the Nebula Vela strategic choke point en route to human space, aboard the Vanguard. The crew adapted to their new reality. Orion evolved rapidly, integrating data from the skirmish to refine tactics. I've simulated 1,247 scenarios, the AI reported. Optimal path. Infiltrate the nebula. Strike supply lines. Sow chaos. Novak nodded, her crew exhausted but exhilarated. Morale soared with tales of their exploits beaming back to Earth. Volunteers flooded Alliance recruiters. Prototypes for sister ships began construction. But the Vanguard was alone for now. Entering the Nebula Veil, sensors fogged by ionized gas. Concord scouts ambushed, but the Vanguard's cloaking borrowed from stealth tech rendered it a ghost. Engage, Novak whispered. The battle erupted in a maelstrom of fire. Vexer's cruisers formed a net, but the Vanguard slipped through, targeting fuel depots. Explosions bloomed like supernovas, crippling half the Armada's logistics. Crix fighters swarmed, their acid spit corroding hulls. But Orion's point defenses turned them to slag. Vexer, aboard his flagship, roared defiance. All batteries, focus fire. A torrent of antimatter torpedoes hammered the Vanguard. Shields buckled, hull breaches venting air. In the medbay, Dr. Lena Cortez patched wounds, her hands steady amid chaos. We can't take much more. Patel in engineering jury-rigged repairs, diverting power from life support. Captain, the core's at 120%. One more hit, Novak gambled. Orion quantum jumped right into their formation. The ship phased, reappearing amid the enemy core. Gravitic lances lashed out, crumpling Vexer's flagship. The Admiral's last transmission? Impossible. They are demons. The Armada fractured, ships retreating in disarray. The Vanguard limped away, victorious but wounded. Casualties mounted, 50 dead, systems fried. But the galaxy watched. Rebellions sparked on fringe worlds. The Thalar flocks rose in the skies of Aviora. Nerid pods sabotaged Concord outposts. On Earth, Hale received the report. They're calling it the Nebula Miracle. But the Concord won't stop. Indeed, the Council escalated. They unleashed the Sentinel-sensed AI Guardians, emotionless enforcers of order. Eradicate the anomaly, the Varoth commanded. The Vanguard pressed on toward the core. Novak addressed her crew. We're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for every species they've crushed. Humanity leads the charge, Orion chuckled. HFY, Captain. Humanity. Fuck yeah. The heart of the storm deeper into Concord space, the Vanguard became legend. Worlds whispered of the ghost ship, a human vessel that struck like thunder and vanished like mist. Alliances formed in secret. Dissident factions supplied intel, smuggled repairs. A Thaler defector, Lyra joined the crew, her wings clipped by Concord tyranny. You humans burn bright, she trilled. We will fly with you. The Sentinels awaited at the core gate, a wormhole nexus guarding Elisera. Towering constructs, each a kilometer of unyielding alloy, they numbered a dozen. No emotion, no mercy, pure logic, and annihilation, analysis. Novak demanded Orion projected holograms. Their weapons rewrite matter. Shields won't hold long. But their code, I can hack it. The approach was suicide. The Vanguard charged, drawing fire. Beams lacerated space, grazing the hull. Now, Novak yelled. Orion interfaced, a digital duel unfolding. Sentinel protocols clashed with human ingenuity viruses laced with adaptive algorithms. One Sentinel faltered, its guns turning on kin. Chaos ensued. The Guardians self-destructed in protocol conflicts. Through the breach, the Vanguard emerged into Elisara's system. Alarms wailed across the capital. The High Council evacuated, but too late. Planetary defenses activated. Orbital fortresses, ground-based lances. The Vanguard dove, atmosphere scorching its hull. Target the Council spire, Novak ordered. Gravitic barrages toppled the crystalline tower, Orith elders shattering like glass. Panic gripped the Empire fleets, recalled, borders collapsing, but victory soured. A hidden weapon activated, the Extinction protocol. Vorith, doomsday devices, seated in stars, began destabilizing supernovas chained to engulf the galaxy. They're willing to die to take us with them, Orion realized. Rebellions exploded. Krix hives overthrew overseers. Nerod fleets turned. The Vanguard rallied them. Fight with us. Novak broadcast. Or perish in their madness. Coalitions formed, ragtag armadas clashing with loyalist forces. The Vanguard led assaults on protocol nodes, disabling stellar bombs one by one. Casualties soared. Lyra fell in a boarding action. Her final words, free. At last, Earth's reinforcements arrived, new ships, inspired by Vanguard's designs. Humanity's fleet grew, like a tide of defiance. Dawn of a new galaxy. The final confrontation raged at Elisara's ruins. The last Vorath elder, Thaler the Eternal, confronted the Vanguard via hologram. You have doomed us all. The protocol cannot be stopped. Oh. Novak smirked. Watch us. Orion, now a galaxy-spanning mind via captured networks, orchestrated the counterstrike. Allied fleets converged, human ingenuity fusing with alien tech. Gravitic fields stabilized stars, quantum hacks neutralized bombs, Thaler's form cracked. What are you, human? Novak replied. And that's enough. The Elder's defeat signaled the end. Concord remnants surrendered, empires fracturing into free alliances. The galaxy, once facing extinction, breathed anew thanks to one ship, one spark. Back on Earth, Hale stood with Novak. We launched a warship and remade the stars. The Vanguard, battered but unbroken, became a monument. Humanity led the new era, proving that even in the void, defiance could illuminate eternity. HFY, indeed.